Hello everybody, my name is Star Wars Boy, how are you? And welcome to a brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 video, where we are going to be doing a hero guide on another character, Luke Skywalker. Last week I did one on General Grievous, and the week before I did one on Darth Vader, so today we're going to be following it up by doing a light side hero breakdown. And next week we'll do another light side hero, and we'll keep on doing it in this rotation. Without further ado, let's get started into the guide. Now, moving on to some of his stats, his base health is 750, while his health regain is on the lower end at 200. This makes it because it perfectly balances out, because if he had 250, I think he'd be a bit too overpowered. For his weapon stats, he does 130 damage to the front and 160 to the back, which is the same as General Grievous. I would rate his stamina around 7 out of 10 because he can block for a good amount of time and he can also attack for a good amount of time. So he's fairly good with his stamina. His swing speed is 2.4 swings per second, which is much higher than anyone else in the game and on par with other characters like Maul. Now, moving on to his abilities, his first L1 ability is called Force Push, and it has a 20-second cooldown. Luke Skywalker uses the Force to push his enemies and dealing damage, meaning it knocks them off their feet and does a lot of damage. The damage is different for troopers and heroes. For troopers, it is a one-hit to all classes except the heavy, dealing 150 damage, and for heroes, it does 90. As for the pros of this ability, it clears out areas pretty quickly. I mean, with the press of a button, you can kill a lot of troopers and even more if any heavies are low. As for the cons, it can be blocked by sabers and rolling, meaning that if a saber just blocks it, then he will pretty much just not do anything, and it can be dodged by a well-timed roll. Another thing that can cancel out the ability if there is an object in the enemy's way, so even though most of the force push is going through them, if there is a tall object in front of you, then it will actually not hit them. Other than that though, this ability is really good. As for his next R1 ability, is called Rush and has a quick 5-second cooldown. This makes Luke basically do a quick rush with his lightsaber, gaining extra distance. And as for the damage, it does 100 per enemy hit. As for the pros, it covers ground really fast and helps catch up to enemies. Your lightsaber can just touch them in the back and it will do that 100 damage, which is really good with this ability. As for cons, it can be blocked by sabers and again a well-timed roll. So just be careful of that, because in 1v1s with saber heroes, this is not the best of abilities. As for his final middle ability, it is called Repulse and it has a 17-second cooldown. Luke Skywalker sends a burst of force energy and deals damage to any enemies nearby. And again, just like the force push, damage is different for troopers and heroes. For troopers, this does 130 damage, and for heroes, it does 75, meaning it can't one-hit any single trooper class. As for the pros, it takes enemies off their feet and is great for multi-kills. If you go into the highly packed room and all the enemies are already low, then you can simply use this ability and follow up with the force push. As for cons, again, it can be blocked by sabers or a well-timed roll. So pretty much that's all I have to say about Luke. All his abilities are great, however, they can all be dodged and deflected by lightsabers. Now, moving on to some of the more important stuff, starting with his best star cards for Galactic Assault. The first one I would recommend is the Deflection Mastery card, which basically deflects blaster bolts more precisely back at enemies, but causes the stamina drain to increase. It goes from 18 to 15 to 12 to 10. This star card's great because one of the best things about lightsabers is that you can deflect the bolts right back at your enemies, so this is really good for that situation. The next star card I would recommend is his Jedi Fighter card, which decreases his stamina on his melee strikes and lightsaber swings, and it goes from 20 to 25 to 30 to 35%. The final star card I recommend is the Intensify star card. So every trooper defeated or 200 damage to heroes increases Luke Skywalker's lightsaber damage by 2 to a maximum, and it resets after he dies. This ability is great because if you get that extra damage on him, then it's really going to help you in the long run. The damage increase goes from 18 to 24 to 30 to 36. This star card again is really good if you love going on kill streaks. These are not the only 3 cards you use, but these are the cards that I use all the time and I feel really strongly about. And feel free to let me know what star cards you use in the comments down below. Now, moving on to his best maps, and Luke Skywalker has a lot of good maps, but these are 3 that I would personally pick every time I chose Luke. So the first map is going to be Endor because it has a really linear layout, and that's perfect for someone like Luke Skywalker. He can pretty much run across the map really quickly, and with his fast swing speed, he can take out anyone on his way. Another thing I need to say is that during the night, his base appearance is really good as it's all black, and it's really hard to see him if you have that lightsaber turned off. The next map is Hoth because it again has a really linear layout and it's close quarters enough for his push in some areas, but yet it's still out in the open for his speed. As for the final map, it's going to be Kashyyyk, as again it has a really linear layout and it's really good. He can take cover in those trees, in the bushes that people can't go through, and it's a really good map for him. So these are, again, you don't have to pick him on these 3 maps, but these are the 3 maps that I use him all the time, and I'm really good with him on these 3 maps. And that is gonna do it for this hero guide, guys. Last week I kind of stuffed up. I was a bit busy, so I didn't get to upload my hero guide on Friday, but I did upload on Saturday for you guys. I like doing these hero guides because it not only helps me learn the correct stats, but also helps you guys still playing Battlefront. So I'm gonna basically do these for all the characters in the game. We don't know how much longer Battlefront 2 has, but all the dedicated players will still play it. So some of them still don't even know about these characters' stats and basically how to use them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit the like button if you did enjoy this video. See you guys next time. Bye, and may the Force be with you always.